My name is Time. I'm a rapper, bassist, producer, residing in Montreal but hailing from Toronto. So right now, I'm working on releasing my debut album entitled Everything Has Its Thyme. In every ways, it's a step up from my first EP, Eternally the Student. That was great, but we on some next shit. You're gonna be hearing a lot of different sounds and a lot of different colors and flavors because that's who I am as a person and what I've lived. I'm dabbling and speaking a little bit of Spanish, I'm doing trap, I'm doing pop, I'm doing funk. All the music that I grew up with and that I've studied and I've played over the years. It's kind of like the amalgamation of all those things. So from the beginning of the conceptualization to the planning out, to the recording, to the mixing, mastering, start to finish, the two most important people involved in this process were Chris and Cloves. Both of them really brought this to life, and had my back. Chris, not only did he produce, engineer, and mix the album, he really kind of brought my ideas and sketches to life.
Mill and I met, we were on a gig together. We were playing in a voodoo cover band here in Montreal. Pretty random assortment of people. We were backing Charlotte Day Wilson. And back then, I was just playing trombone in this voodoo cover band, and I think we did 2 gigs, 2 house parties, 2 McGill house parties, which were absolutely legendary. They were really sweet.
My first impression of Chris is hard to say because he's very quiet sometimes, very low key. He was down, he was cool, he wasn't uptight, he wasn't stuck up, he wasn't, he was just a cool guy. He was a music head. So, when you're with musicians, it's easy to get along. We speak the same language.
I would probably start by getting this section beefed up.
Yeah.
It seems like the part that it's gonna be where it really kind of is the most full. At least from what I've heard so far. I don't know. I feel like I get the vibe.
Yeah.
I feel like I get.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of executing the sounds and filling it out.
Choose to be on your team and the energy that they bring is very important, and I think Chris has a very good temperament to be a audio engineer, a mixer, producer. Unlike me, who sometimes gets exhausted, Chris is very he can compartmentalize in a very efficient way. Some producers, they don't have a lot of experience. With Chris's case, he was a musician. He understood where I was coming from. He was able to appreciate the harmony that I did and then build on top of what I had already laid down.
We just naturally left a lot of space for each other, and I think we were both mindful of that. And yeah, I guess I have never thought about it and never realized just how natural it was. I think I'm there to bring his vision to life. That's my job. Sometimes that means he has a specific idea and I'm there to execute it, and other times he doesn't know what he wants. And so that's where you have to be prepared as a producer to take a back seat or be able to drive on something and bring it to life. A lot of the songs he'd written when he brought them to me. He had just had really rough Logic demos. It was awesome. For me, it really ties into my process great. It's just whether you use anything from that or nothing, it's just raw materials. So I was really excited to bring all of that together.
Often when people talk about albums, they talk about what was done on the album, the people who were involved. But what a lot of people don't talk about is the people who were involved outside of the music in their personal lives.
My role was definitely a supportive girlfriend at first. In the beginning, when he first started recording, I was mapping the vocals a lot. Naturally, since I do photography, I also ended up helping him a lot with visuals, and what became helping a little bit and giving ideas became me doing, which I love because it's giving me the chance to explore a side of photography that I hadn't really before.
My favorite thing about Cloves is that we can both complement each other in such like a real way. She's so meticulous about little things where I'm more of a big picture kind of like vision kind of guy.
He is not afraid to ask for help. If he doesn't know something, he'll reach out. If, he'll always do that. Just like I feel like everyone should be comfortable just asking him something because he is so open like that.
Working with clothes is great, and it's going to be hard for me to work with any other photographer after, because I know that when she tells me to do something, there's a reason behind it. If I was with someone else, I'd be questioning that, but I don't question her.
The fact that I know him so much and I know what he likes and I know what he doesn't. Whenever we're doing visuals or we're taking pictures, I always have to like push myself into trying to find something better. This one was a 10, let's make an 11 this time, you know what I mean?
All right, why don't you start freestyling for me?
Freestyling in front of the lights, camera, action. Rolling Stones, hit that microphone, give you satisfaction.
Yeah, she threw a noodle.
This happened.
You want a noodle?
It was for the
airplane.
camera. It was for the camera.
I think if you're gonna have a partnership with anybody, you have to like complement each other in certain ways. So I feel like we really complement each other, good, and obviously, there's a bit of bad, but it's always a balance. What I find in any healthy relationship is there has to be a certain amount of trust, respect, admiration, and love. I realized that without her, there's no way I could take on this monumental task. I got to give her a shout out, just be real that, she was with me kind of when we were cooking for the band and preparing meals and bringing those to the sessions and dropping people off and helping me pick up and coming and filling in the vocals when we needed it. She was there. That within itself deserves a shout out and recognition and applause and praise. Both of them really, without them, there would be no album.
Taking of time for the infants, without it that the city is alive in 3 dimensions.